So only what people can see is above the surface. But what they can't see is the work that's been done. The root system is the know-how, the process, okay? Humility, the way you guys handle more than anybody in the city. One step at a time. Right? But the root system's in place. The root system's in place.
It's week number 5 of this NFL season and time for another edition of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy here inside the Globe Life studios at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. It's Sunday night football this week. It's the Cowboys. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two storied programs. And Coach, I know going back home to Pittsburgh too, you have a lot of respect for the Steelers organization, in particular Mike Tomlin, who's now in his 18th year with the Steelers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Rooney family, Mike Tomlin, they've done it at such a high level for decades. So, on a personal note, it's always great to go back home, see the family. But, this is a game that we need. We need to take another step. I thought we got started the way we needed to get started up there in New York last week. But this is going to be an excellent challenge. I mean, they're a dynamic football team, especially in their home stadium.
It's a Steelers organization that hasn't had a losing season in 21 years, and Mike Tomlin's done a great job. Of course, you matched up with him in a Super Bowl 45 right here in Arlington. One of my lasting memories of that Super Bowl team for you was overcoming adversity, overcoming injuries. I think you had 15 players that were on injured reserve, and it kind of relates to where you are right now with your football team, with the injuries that you're going through. This is part of what an NFL team goes through, and it's something that you have to overcome, right?
I mean, definitely. Actually, I think it was 17. Because I know when we got to the end of the journey, we had 77 players get rings for the Super Bowl, and I think it's just the perfect analogy to kind of what we're going through, and you go through every year. Injuries are the one part of this game that no one likes. It's unfortunate, but it happens. It's just a matter of when and who. So, we're going through our first injury phase right now. So I think this is a great opportunity, particularly for our young players and guys that are going to get more opportunities, whether it's on special teams or not playing special teams, more on defense and things like that. This is just really a great opportunity for our football team to step up.
And to come in bunches at the pass rusher position, defensive end with Lawrence and with Parsons, and even going back to Sam Williams early in training camp. New guys that have come in here. We've seen Carl Lawson, KJ Henry this week. What's it going to do to take up the slack here?
Well, I think you've already said it. I mean, it's going to it's going to take the whole crew. So, I mean, we're going to be in a rotation. It's important to, the rotation comes together because, we need to get the timing, the pass rush needs to be in sync. And, and you got a number of guys working together that haven't worked together a whole lot. So, that's really what we're trying to emphasize. We'll be pointing out through the practice today. This is an important practice for us, our padded practice, our heavy workload opportunities, so it's important for us to have a hell of a day.
Justin Fields at quarterback for the Steelers. He's seizing his opportunity, a 3-1 record through the first 4 games, dual threat guy. What do you see in him?
Well, I'm just a very, very gifted young man. I just go back to I remember going to his college workout there at Ohio State. So, he's played a lot of football. Played a lot of football in Chicago. You can tell he actually looks really comfortable in their new system. He gets through his route progressions pretty quickly. But when he pulls it down, he can make plays. Both in the scramble phase as a runner and a thrower. So, I think he will be better. Each week. In this offense, and you could see that definitely in the second half of the Indianapolis game. He's
carried the ball 38 times. They have more rush attempts than any team in football. Your run defense was much improved a week ago.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's been the formula there in Pittsburgh forever, and it's something that fits their defense. So yeah, it starts with the run. Our run defense is going to be challenged each and every week. We understand that. It's important for us to get into a flow offensively to counterbalance that, and that's all part of our complementary football formula. So it'll be important for us to play to that Sunday night.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of the Mike McCarthy Show. Up next, it's David Moore of the Dallas Morning News.
Yeah, that's the NFL. I mean, honestly, it's how I got my job. It's how a lot of people have stepped in and gotten their job. Tyler Smith, right? That, like, when your number's called, jump in. Show that you belong here, so that you can prepare the right way. You make the most of your opportunity. I think we've got young guys to be able to do that. And whether it's holding it down or making a name for themselves, I think that we can, for one, get the identity set of this team, and one, just being fighters, one, relentless in what we do. Second, or I guess third, or whatever you want to put it in, maybe even first, just detailed and, like, that it doesn't matter who we put in, that we're going to play hard, we're going to give you our best, super, super detailed, and we're coming to win.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com.
Obviously, the competitiveness is going to be missed. Physicality and everything he brings to the game. He's still a leader in the room. Everything that he's been through, he's still in the room communicating with us. Granted, we hate that he's not out there with us, but I got to go out there and play for him and come out with a dub.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy, continues now. Bill Jones now joined by David Moore, the Dallas Morning News, Sports Day, DFW.com. You know, there is a wide receiver in the NFL named David Moore. This is not the same one, but David Moore.
I think just the eye test will tell you that very quickly that I'm not an NFL receiver.
So you are not a candidate to help with the ailing wide receiving core for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's not reached that point. And Brandon Cooks, you knew you were going to be shorthanded on the defensive side of the ball. A little surprising early in the week, they find that Brandon Cooks won't be available as well. I think they're a little better suited to absorb that loss than what they're looking at defensively. Jalen Tolbert has come on, has had a really nice season early this year, has made some difficult catches. In fact, he's kind of moved past Brandon Cooks early in the season in the pecking order. Jalen Brooks has flashed and shown some things when he's been used. And Turpin is another guy who they've used more and more as a receiver, and he's shown he's had an ability to help them offensively. They're going to need it because you have to be very efficient offensively on the road against this Pittsburgh defense.
And you alluded to the fact that and we talked about it with Coach in the previous segment about the edge rusher situation on this team. Also talked about with the coach, going back to when he was the coach of the Packers and they won the Super Bowl, as he pointed out, 17 guys were on IR that year. This is something NFL teams go through, and we've seen other examples of it, even in McCarthy's time here with the Cowboys, where they have had to overcome injuries like that.
Yeah, so certainly don't want to go back to elicit Super Bowl views of that Green Bay team yet. I think we need to see how these next few weeks play out. But teams come together when it looks like key players are out and you can't do it, and it's a big part of their identity and their success in that season. I'll go back to Mike McCarthy's second season here. They were just starting to play well. They were coming off a substandard season. You're going, but something could be here. Dak Prescott's out. The immediate reaction outside the building was, well, they're not going to be able to make it through this. Cooper Rush comes in and goes 4-1, and that built the nucleus for 3 straight 12-5 runs. And that team really came together when Dak Prescott was out. 2 defenders out, big defender for Dallas. Let's see if they're able to come through this. If they can, I think it serves them well down the road.
Well, should be fun on Sunday night in Pittsburgh. David Moore, we appreciate it. Up next here on the Mike McCarthy Show, we check in with one of those guys who's going to step up for the Cowboys, hopefully in a big way as far as the Cowboys are concerned. That would be one Marshon.
This segment was brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Cowboys have some injury issues at defensive end, and one of those guys asked to step up, the rookie second-round draft pick, Marshon Neal.
It was nerve-wracking. Definitely exciting when I finally got to hear my name. It was great, a great experience. To have the amount of people that I did there, the joy that all of them had, that I had, it was unbelievable. I feel like just the competition overall. Everybody's a lot better. Everybody's on their details pretty much all the time. So it's a little bit more you got to do to separate yourself. It's fun. He's the same cat every day. Is definitely a great person to be around. Definitely enjoy the coaching staff in general. It's definitely been a great experience to be able to see those cats. You know, it's like you see them on TV and you don't really experience that until you're right here with them, seeing them do it like, you know, every day. Just great people to be around, great teammates. They helped me a lot just as far as, you know, learning the game and, you know, coaching me up, teaching me how to do things, you know, obviously teaching me how not to do things from time to time. They just, you know, taking me under their wing and, you know, showing me the ins and outs. I feel like, you know, it's a pressure-filled game. I feel pressure pretty much all the time, but overall, I think it's a great opportunity for me to be able to prove myself and, you know, show that when they come back, I'm going to be able to, you know, hang with them. Obviously, we just got to stop the run. We got to go out there and, you know, force them to have to throw the ball. And obviously, you know, they got a quarterback that can run, so we got to shut that stuff down too.
Well, let's take a look at what Marshon, Neal, and the rest of the Cowboys defense faces on Sunday night against Pittsburgh. We got Will McClay here to break it down on the telestrator. How about we start with the run game and their big running back, number 22, Najee Harris.
Yep, 1,000-yard rusher his last 3 years. He's 230 pounds. What he is, he's big, and he runs with a good pad level, but he's got vision as well. You watch it here. They're going to run the stretch here. He's going to put his foot in the ground. Here you go. Now, sees the defender there, puts his foot in the ground, gets skinny, and now it takes 6 people to bring him down. So we've got to rally around the football.
Okay, at quarterback for the Steelers, Josh Fields. Of course, he came over in the trade with the Bears in the offseason, and he can do it both running and throwing the football.
Dual threat quarterback. He's completing over 70% of his passes. His number one target, we'll go down to the bottom two, is Pickens. We want to look at it here. They're worried about Judah on the outside, looks like. They're going to roll the pocket to the far side of the field. And you want to talk about arm strength. He's not just a runner, but the arm strength to make this throw. That's about a 60-yard throw from the far hash.
George Pickens led the league in yards per catch last year at 18.1.
Yes, now we look at him now here, okay. Well, Fields, the book on him is that he scrambles to get out of the pocket. Here, he's getting better. He keeps his eyes open, moves out of the pocket, rush lane discipline, and he throws a strike to Pickens, his favorite receiver again.
Okay, the Steelers are known for their defense, and they got Pro Bowlers all over that defense. Let's start in the secondary with a 4-time Pro Bowler in Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Great safety because he can do it all. Play man, play zone, play in the box. He can blitz. You look at him here, they think they got it blocked. They're going to bring the tight end down to block him here. All right, they're going to bring the tight end down to block him. All right, here he goes, and he fills the alley and gives the running back nowhere to go, showing up in the run game from deep.
And, of course, in that front seven, you got T.J. Watt.
Yeah, we got T.J. Watt, not known for rushing the passer, but a very smart player versus the run here. You look at him, they're going to try and stretch him, but he reads the block, high effort, beats the guy inside, and he gets a tackle for a loss.
There's an example of him playing the run, and he can also get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, this is relentless effort here. You'll see him here on the edge. You watch his pass rush. He's very good with his hands, and then the desire and the effort to finish the rush. You watch him here. He's going to come off the ball. Nice arm, nice rip, and then the tackle here, just relentless effort.
All right, had 19 sacks last season. Our thanks to Will McClay, and the Mike McCarthy Show continues in a moment when the coach rejoins us.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort. Proud to be the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Please game responsibly.
4 penalties for 40 yards in this one, a big 15 yards here. It's Elliott! Elliott for the touchdown! No flags! Cowboys lead! 9 seconds left.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. The Coach rejoins us now. We look back at the last time the Cowboys traveled to Pittsburgh, Coach, was in 2016. It was the rookie season, of course, for Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. Zeke had 3 touchdowns in that game, one on an 83-yard screen pass, game that came right down to the wire when Zeke had a 32-yard touchdown run to win it with 9 seconds left. These two guys have come a long way since 2016, though.
Oh, they play a lot of football, a lot of great football, no doubt. But yes, we actually made reference to it in our team meeting earlier in the week, and it'll be part of our game management because, you know, really, if you look at the history of this team, I know personally competing against them, you know, the numbers will tell you it's most likely going to come down to the end of the game sequence. And I think anytime you have a running game and how much they're committed to the run and they complement it with their defense, you know, shorten the game, trying to keep it close. I mean, you know, the numbers will tell you that. So, yeah, definitely, I think we'll definitely need the same type of finish.
Yeah, I look back at your personal history against the Steelers, and every single game has been a one-score game. It's been decided by a touchdown or less. All right, Brandon Cook's out this week at the wide receiver position. I'd like to ask you about Kevontae Turpin and his potential as a receiver in this offense.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll just really, you know, Turp will get more opportunities. I mean, he's really grown as a receiver. I mean, I love the way this young man's come in here and has learned the offense, but more importantly, just his route running, his connection he has with all the quarterbacks. So you'll just see more of Turp as far as how we play. You know, we're not changing anything. It's just a matter of how we move our guys around and, you know, the concepts that we're trying to stay in. Because everything in the pass game starts with the quarterback, so that connection with the quarterback is critical. And Turp he'll definitely get more opportunities.
Steelers defense, there are experienced, accomplished guys at all 3 levels of the defense. The guy that jumps out, of course, is T.J. Watt, coming off of 19 sack seasons, led the league in sacks 3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, T.J.'s a beast. He's so consistent. I mean, you know, just looking at the way he gets off on a snap count, I mean, that's something, especially on the road, you have to really, really deal with. But Ken Hayward, he's not, you know, he's found the fountain of youth. I mean, he hasn't slowed down at all either. So, I mean, those 2 guys really, really man the front line. And just as you've said, they got players on every level. This is an excellent defense.
You know, the next guy I was going to ask you about is Cam Hayward. Oh, and here's a guy, of course, the son of the legendary Craig Ironhead Hayward, a Pitt Panther. You just missed him, I guess, in the 80s. When you went to Pitt in 1989, he'd have finished up a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think he finished in like 87, 88. But, yeah, great player, had, you know, excellent NFL career. But, yeah, he's definitely keeping the Hayward name going strong, but big fan of Cam's.
All right, we continue with more of the Mike McCarthy Show in just a moment as we take a trip down memory lane to Pittsburgh, PA.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Final couple of minutes here of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Cowboys and Steelers Sunday night in Pittsburgh, of course, the hometown of one Mike McCarthy. And normally in this segment, Coach, I come up with an unsung star on the team. But I thought in this case, since you're going back to Pittsburgh, I want to find out from you who might be an unsung star in your life growing up in Pittsburgh, who is a big influence on you that you'd like to shout out.
I don't know if I could have had any better coaches, not just coaching, coach in my youth. I mean, all the way through. I go back to my baseball coach, Bob Varley, Joe Diolis. I mean, all those guys. Ted Carabinas, Marty Coyne. But the one gentleman I would like to recognize, actually 2, but Jim Gregg, he's still coaching there today. I mean, he's coached 3 generations in our neighborhood in both basketball and baseball. So Jim has done a phenomenal job, and then I would be remiss if I didn't name my high school coach, Francis McGee Mannion. So those 2 guys made a huge impact on me, and I think it's no surprise why I'm a coach today.
I did some research on Jim Gregg, 58 years with the Greenfield Baseball Association, and boys basketball coach for 47 years. The best team they had might have been the 6th grade team that Mike McCarthy starred on, a 39-1 season, right?
Dynasty champions.
And by the way, you said last week homecoming at Prestonwood Christian, your daughter's school, and everything went well.
Yeah, that was a big night. They that game was over at halftime, so no, it was a great homecoming weekend.
Yeah, they put up 70 points. I saw that. All right, well, hopefully Sunday night in Pittsburgh will be just as good a homecoming for you. We appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, Bill.
And we appreciate all of you joining us here for the Mike McCarthy Show. We will see you again next week.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant. is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Ford, your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV.